So maximizing your LinkedIn profile, starting with tagline and summary, tailor your tagline to attract the sectors that you want. And again, don't be afraid to tailor your tagline to the specific roles you want. It's easy to be afraid that if you go a little bit too specific, you're going to miss out on opportunities. But making a little more specific, a little bit more obvious what you want is actually going to attract more of those specialized job offers that you actually do want. And structure your tagline, especially as a job seeker, looking in the moment and forwards. It's all right to put PhD candidate in biomedical engineering if that's what you're currently doing. But what do you want to do with that? Where do you want to go? What jobs are you seeking? So something like PhD candidate in biomedical engineering, looking to propel innovation in the medical devices industry. Something like that is going to be stronger than that single in the moment tagline. And then for the summary, focus on your accomplishments and tie it all together. This is really where you can write that narrative of you. One of the first questions you're going to get asked in a job interview is either going to be, why do you want this job? Tell me about yourself. Why are you a good fit for this role? And this summary is a way to take the experience that's going to be in your CV or resume and craft that narrative. So one way I suggest crafting it, rather than in a linear narrative story, like a resume would be, one after another, is make a word web. Write down the role that you're interested in, or the company that you're interested in, the industry you're interested in, and then note your experiences, your education, any of your extracurricular activities, and find a way to make it seem, whether it was intentional or not, like they're all pointing towards this role. That it could not be any more obvious to someone looking at your summary that you are the right fit for this role. I'm going to show you what the recruiter side of LinkedIn looks like and how you can tailor your profile to better facilitate attracting the recruiters in biotech. So the first thing is the spotlights, which is generally how open do you appear to be contacted. You can be sorted by responsiveness. For example, if a recruiter reaches out to you and it's not a position that you are interested in, you still reply with a cordial, thank you, but no thank you. I'm not interested at this time, because that will at least count towards your responsiveness and make it more likely for people to contact you in the future. Make sure that you have it selected that you're open to work and that you're actively seeking. Having those connections that you're going to build with the networking is going to be important. And also location. You can sort by location that you're willing to work at, but keep in mind that if you are open to relocation, if region is not all that important to you, to make it more general so that you're not excluded from searches. If you would prefer to work in, say, the New York area, but you're open to moving, maybe don't set it just to New York. And for skills, that's going to be that area under your experience section where you're going to list your techniques that you're familiar with. Make sure that it's comprehensive for your strengths. When you have recruiters or TAs who are looking for someone for a company, they're not necessarily going to know the vernacular completely. So they might be told, we're looking for someone with gene editing experience. They're not necessarily going to know CRISPR-Cas or Talon, anything like that. So to you, it might seem obvious, well, I put CRISPR-Cas9, I have some gene editing experience. But put both of those down just so it's obvious to someone who maybe doesn't have that specific expertise, but is looking to help fill a position with that expertise, that you are qualified for the position. And sometimes it helps to include fields and specific techniques as well. So say you are familiar with MATLAB, but do you use it for biomedical engineering? Do you use it for electrical engineering? You can include some of those specific fields as well. And it is appropriate at times to highlight relevant soft skills, but not all your soft skills. If you're looking to obtain like a lab manager role, then management skills can be included. If you're looking for a more customer-facing technical support role, then customer service would be relevant to include. But certainly don't include all your soft skills, just relevant ones. And for the experience section, don't just make it a project overview of everything you worked on. You want to make it really clear what were your specific contributions. Validated an assay, developed a new screening protocol, and include, again, fields and techniques here. Even though they were included in skills, You want to maximize the chance of it coming up in a search. And try to make your job sector obvious. You can tell it's lab experience, but is it academic lab experience? Is it industry experience? Is it governmental lab experience? Even if it's a internship, make sure it's relatively obvious what sector it's in. And people can also sort by the industry you're in. So if you can tailor this to your desired field, that would be great. Of course, if you're interested in transitioning to industry and you've not been in the biotechnology industry before, including something like research is fine. But then that's when your keywords, the techniques, the skills, the fields, in both your experience section and your skills section are going to become even more important to make sure that you're coming up in those searches.